Well, at the rate I'm going, I'll finish my shop in about 2 decades, but I have just enough progress to show you a video. So here goes. I'm dealing with a window this time in the framing. I'm using this isocell washer and pad to isolate some 2x4s around the window. So those 2x4s that surround the window are completely acoustically dampened. And I have to do this silly nail floating 2x4 for the bentonite soil expansion thing like I did before. That's just required by code, can't get around it. At the ceiling I use these ISO brackets to isolate the 2x4 just below the one that's anchored to the ceiling. So now I have the 2x4 anchored to the floor, isolated with the isocell. Similar isocell isolation for the 2x4s around the window, and iso bracket isolation on the 2x4 at the ceiling. Now everything in between can just be connected and hooked up, and it'll all be isolated so that any drywall attached to the 2x4s in the middle will not carry vibrations through to the rest of the house. So there it is, one more section of framing done. So thanks to AcoustiGuard for hooking me up with this stuff and teaching me how to use it. The last thing that they gave me is this liquid dampening paste for ductwork. My wife has said that this really makes quite a difference, even though I don't have it all finished yet. Ductwork on its own transmits sound pretty well, but with this paste stuck to the sides of it, the sound is dampened quite a bit and it doesn't carry nearly as much sound to the rest of the house. So really pretty happy with this. And I think if you do nothing else, maybe just putting this stuff on your ductwork could make quite a difference if sound is a concern for you. So one last thing I wanted to touch on is the drivers for the LED strips that I put in my shop that were provided by American Greenlights. Thank you to them. You should check them out. Very good products. I'm very happy with the lighting, and I wanted to touch on just one thing that kept coming up in the comments, and that is, why didn't I just use one large power source for all of the lights? I didn't really have a good answer to those comments at the time, but since Jim Uno has provided some comments and given feedback that really that's not a great idea unless you have a strategy to get the lights exactly the current that they need. And to do that, you're going to have to adjust for different lengths of wire going out to them from the single power source. These individual drivers take care of all that for you. And if there's an issue, they're easier. If one of them breaks, it's cheaper to swap one of them out. It is kind of a pain building an enclosure like this, and would be quite an awesome product if someone came up with a way to just store these drivers in a purpose-built containment for them, so that you don't have to build something like I did. Someone knows of something like that, link it. I don't think it exists, but maybe, you never know. Anyway, I just wanted to follow up on that one because there were some questions and some people might still not understand why I did it this way. So hopefully I can pick the pace up a bit and get this shop moving. It seems that since I got it to the point where I could actually do woodworking, I stopped working on the shop, and that's not good because I need this to keep progressing. So hopefully I can get off my butt. That's all for now.